Okay, well, something slightly different today. Apologies for the noise of the falling rain. I'm in the conservatory and I just started a heavy rain shower. Typical wet winter weather here in Wales. Anyway, what I've got today is a CB rig. President Mckinley mobile CB rig. Now, why have I got a CB radio? Well, my primary motive in getting this was to use it as a means of monitoring 10 meters, because as the sunspot cycle increases, I want to keep an ear or an eye, if you like, on 10 meters. But as a shortwave listener of many years also, I've noticed that often the first band to open is actually the CB band, 11 meters. And you'll start hearing some DX activity on that band before you hear the propagation on 10. So the idea was that as conditions start to improve, I could have this radio switched on, connected up to my 10 meter vertical and monitoring, either on 27 or 28 megahertz. This radio also has the capability of covering 12 meters, I believe, 24 meg, so that should be quite interesting. But first, let's have a look at what we've got here. So obviously you can see the box, and I'll just open it up. And you can see then what we've got inside here. And we've got a little cardboard box here with, I'm assuming, possibly either the microphone or the power lead, or both in here. That's what it feels like anyway. I think the mic's in here, certainly. So yeah, sure enough. So we've got a fused power connector, and we've got the microphone there. So on a little packet of ancillaries, a microphone holder and some side screws there for the mobile mounting bracket, no doubt. So let's get the rest of it out here. It's quite, for the size of it, it feels quite weighty, this. And we've got a sticker and a manual. We've got a mobile mounting bracket, and then quite carefully wrapped up in here of the main item, which is the radio itself, of course. And there it is, about the size of a good 2 meter mobile, something like that, you know. Metal case, feels quite weighty, quite nice. Got a nice heatsink on the back there, and the SO239 power lead. And what else have we got? External speaker, a Vox mic and a PA speaker. So these radios still have a PA facility on them, which is interesting. I don't know how many people would use that. This one's been checked over by nights on there. Looks like the 7th of December, and we've got some seals there on the side there. So that's what it looks like. Front facing speaker there, so should be good audio from it. Let's get it into the shack, connected up to an antenna, and see how it goes. So here's the President Mckinley connected up to a vertical antenna. It's in the shack, of course, sitting on top of the power supply at the moment, just a temporary setup. And I'm back. The rig's scanning. And we've stopped on channels, a few local stations. This is on the UK FM band. So it's all working. It's a well-made piece of kit, this. It's in a nice metal case. It feels like a decent quality radio. You'd think it would be ideal for mobile mounting because it's got a front facing speaker, microphone sockets at the front here. Nice clear display. The frequency readout's a little bit small, but the channel display is fine. Now, this radio's menu driven, like a lot of modern radios are. Very, very common with the amateur radio equipment, so no surprises there. But there's some ergonomics issues with this radio, and I really think they make it not suitable for mobile use. I'll just show you the main menu system. If we press the channel knob here and hold it, takes us into part of the menu settings. We've got an option here called span, and if we switch that option on, we'll basically be able to tune through the whole coverage of the radio. Now, this radio is capable of transmitting on 12 meters armature band, 10 meters armature band, as well as pretty much everything in between. So 25, 26, 27 megs. This is a legal CB radio, but this one's had the export mod done, which is moving a jumper inside and cutting one link. As these are sold legally, these would only cover the 80 channels, the old mid-band channels and the UK channels, 40 channels each. And of course, on the lower set of channels, on the old mid-band channels or the CEPT channels, you've got multi-mode facilities, so you've got AM, FM and SSB at 12 watts. When the mod is done, you've got higher power and bigger coverage, but I have to point out it means that this radio now is not legal to use as a CB radio, okay? Now, we all know how hot Ofcom are and what a risk you'd be taking if you dared to use this on 27, but I'm just pointing out it's not legal. Now, you can see the menu's timed out because we haven't done anything. Let's go back into the menu. Press and hold the channel knob. So the span would allow us to tune in various steps through the frequency coverage of the radio rather than the sort of channelized method. And you can see the menu's got quite a short timeout, so that's one of the little issues. We can change the mic between electric and dynamic settings. We can turn the SWR meter on and off here. We can set the echo level if you want an echo on here. Tone. Emergency channel. We can set an emergency channel. We can actually set 2 emergency channels. And we can actually rename the bands, the frequency bands. And we'll come on to the frequency bands a little later, but we can rename them here. We can turn the PA function on or off. And there's various. We can reset the bands as they're programmed into the radio. We can change the colour. If we want to go into that menu, we just press the channel knob again. We can change the channel, the display colour on the radio. We've got blue, cyan, yellow, purple. What colour that is, I'm not quite sure. Orange and green. Let's go to blue. Select that, and we can dim. We can alter the brightness and the contrast of the display. We can have a key beep on or off. We can have a Roger beep on or off. And we're back to the span setting. So I'll just leave that alone for a second or two, a little timeout. Now, this radio's got variable power as well, but in order to set that, and why on earth they didn't put that in the normal menu settings, I don't know. I'll show you how we set the power. Put the radio into transmit. Keep it in transmit. We press the dot. Press the channel knob. You see it says RF power on the display. We turn up the RF power. We'll turn it all the way up. There we go. We'll press the channel button again, and that saves it. Now that is a dreadful implementation, I think. Absolutely awful. Why didn't they just put that in the menu? Right, to alter the mic gain, again we need to go into transmit on the radio. So we key the radio up, press the dot, press the end key again, and we've now got mic gain. And using the channel knob, we can go up and down on the mic gain. So I've never quite seen anything like this, in that you have to put a radio into transmit mode to alter some of its menu functions. And I think it's pretty dreadful, unless you've got a dummy load to hand and you can set it all up. But it seems to me to alter some of these functions you really need 3 hands. You're holding the PTT and pressing 2 buttons, sometimes 3, because you're having to use the channel knob as well. And very, very odd way of implementing the menu. In the next video we'll have a look at the bands that this radio covers, and as I say, the fact that it can actually be used on the 12 metre and 10 metre amateur band. But there are some limitations with this, and I wouldn't suggest this is an ideal radio if you're a 10 metre enthusiast. It works, it's sensitive, works okay on the 10 metre band, but it does have its limitations, and we'll look at those in a future video. Thanks for watching.